Hi everyone, welcome to At Home with Misty. I am super excited to be joined by Emily Taylor, the Collage Quilter.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you for being here. Tell everyone what we're doing today.
All right, today we are going to start on this super basic beginner collage quilt called Felicity.
Oh, wonderful. I can't wait to show you guys how to make it. Okay, Emily, I am so excited about this. I have wanted to learn collage quilting for a long time, and you promised me that this is going to be doable, so I can't wait to learn. So this is the beautiful project that we're making today, right?
Yes, you are going to be surprised at how fun and easy this is.
Oh, I cannot wait. And so what do we need to make this?
All right, so to get started, what we need is a great pair of scissors. I prefer the Karen K Buckley 6-inch scissors.
Okay.
And then essential is the pattern.
Okay.
So the pattern looks like this. The pattern, it contains, along with the instructions, it contains this pre-printed foundation panel.
Okay.
Yep, in shades of gray. Then you'll need some adhesive.
Okay.
So I prefer Steam-A-Seam.
Okay, wonderful.
You can use any adhesive that you like, but I prefer this. And then optional supplies, like I really love these tweezers. That's kind of helpful. You'll need some pins.
Okay.
And when we get to quilting, we'll talk about that some more, but I really love these non-stick needles.
Okay.
To go through the adhesive.
That's super smart.
And then the thread that I like to quilt with is 100% polyester 40 weight thread.
Wonderful. All right, so let's get started.
Okay, let's do it. All right, so one of the things, well, the most important thing that you're going to need is fabric.
Okay.
And we have worked together to curate a beautiful, super generous fabric bundle.
Yes.
That you can use in this kit. So the interesting thing about this is we've got, I don't know, 40, 50 different fabrics that are cut in 1/8 of a yard cuts.
Oh, wonderful.
So 4.5 inches by the width of fabric.
Okay.
And I really love that because then I can just cut off a small piece of fabric and prepare it with Steam-A-Seam. So I've done that with a couple. I'm just going to show you real quick.
Perfect.
So 4.5 inches on the Steam-A-Seam, there's a grid, so I can just count. So I've got half, 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'll just cut my fabric or my Steam-A-Seam.
Right on the line.
Yep. I don't like to prepare a ton of fabric with Steam-A-Seam at one time. So I do it in pieces. I cut 4 to 8 inches off of the
Just enough to get you going.
Yep, just to get going. Then I'm going to peel back one side of the Steam-A-Seam. It really doesn't matter if it's which side.
Okay.
You peel back, it's the same on both sides. And I maximize my use of the Steam-A-Seam. And I always actually save these, small pieces.
Yeah, because you can use it eventually, right?
Yeah, it's expensive, and we need to maximize our use of it.
Of course.
So let's just press that with the iron.
And so just
Give it a
nice
just a
hot
run over.
iron.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
That's it.
Yep. And that's all you need to do with the fabric
Perfect.
pieces that you've selected to use in your collage.
Okay.
So now you can kind of see all the fabric that I have prepared.
Wonderful.
So let's get started with collage.
I can't wait.
All right, Misty.
Yes.
Here we go.
I cannot wait. I'm so excited.
Now, let's look at this kind of carefully, okay? And let's count. We've got 1 shade of gray, 2 shades of gray. Maybe this is a little bit lighter, right?
Sure.
But what we're doing is we're going to put fabric in this area that is lighter than the fabric that we see here.
Okay. So it's just kind of a guide for the shade of the fabric or the tone of the fabric. Okay,
so
perfect.
Now we're going to walk through this, and let's start. We're going to make this into a yellow flower. I've kind of already started.
Okay.
So I'm going to let you select the fabric from the bundle.
Okay, so we've got some yellows here.
So why don't you try and make 2 or 3 sets, what I call value sets.
Like light, medium, dark?
Yep.
Okay. Let's see how I do here.
That one's obviously the
dark,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, perfect.
Does that work?
Just like that.
Okay, great.
So those are the beginnings of our value sets.
Okay,
right?
and so
now
one more.
just add to it. Just add to it.
Okay.
Maybe move that. I would probably put that over there. Now look, there's a value contrast there.
You're
and
right.
That's okay.
That's okay. So that would be more of the light.
Definitely, yeah.
Okay, and then a dark.
Yep, perfect.
Okay, very fun. Would that be a light?
Yeah.
How fun is this?
Okay, perfect.
Okay.
So it doesn't even have to be perfect,
Right, just close.
But close enough that we can see that, okay, these are my lights, these are my midtones, and these are my darks.
Got it.
And now we're ready to start collaging.
Okay.
So I'm going to start, let's take the lights and put them right here, okay?
Perfect.
This is the fun part. You can see I've already dug into this. I am simply going to take my scissors and make any cut that I want. This is free form cutting.
So you're not using the panel as a guide. You're just
I'm using it as
roughly,
a rough guide.
Roughly.
It's like a coloring book page.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't really have to stay in the lines. It's okay if it's not perfect.
Okay.
I am going to show you a little tip though for areas where you might want a little more precision.
Yeah.
But for now, I'm just going to, this has all been prepared with the Steam-A-Seam. I'm going to score the back paper, makes it easy to peel off. Sometimes I'll pull a thread when I score it, and now I'm just going to kind of start going like this.
Okay.
Now the other thing that's really nice about the Steam-A-Seam is it makes pieces repositionable.
Okay.
So it'll stick temporarily
Before you fuse it.
before I fuse it.
Right.
And so I'm just going to kind of fill that area in.
Perfect. So can you talk a little bit about what you're looking for when you're selecting fabrics?
Absolutely, because that is one thing that I'm kind of particular about.
Okay.
This, like once I'm laying it down, I'm not picky at all. But I do like to work with fabrics that, number one, I can tell what the color is, the overall color, right? So multicolor prints are hard to use. But if you look at things like this, I can easily tell that they are yellow.
They still fall in that yellow category. Yep.
The other thing is they have a very tight print, a tight motif, and I love it when there's fabric that has a little pop of analogous colors. That makes the overall collage just really, really rich and gives it a lot of dimension so that it's not flat. It gives it some life.
Some interest, and it kind of connects those different fabrics together too by having those colors, right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
The other thing is I like to use batiks as well as prints. And the reason for using batiks is prints are sometimes, they fall in the mid-tone range of value. And batiks help us reach the ends of the spectrum on, the
really
dark
round
and
out the lights
light.
and dark. Okay,
Yep.
that's great. This is so fun. And you really are. You're just
I'm just cutting
Just playing.
and I'm just playing. I'm just going to put all these pieces down. Do you want to give it a try?
sure. I
Do you
guess.
want to start on maybe these pretty colors right
Sure.
here?
The more mediums.
Yeah.
All right. I'm a little afraid, but I don't
be
know
afraid.
why.
I want to see you do this.
Okay. Like something like this.
Yep. Now let me give you a little hint here
Okay.
too. So we have this much space to cover.
Yeah.
This piece might be a little big.
Too big. Okay.
Yeah, just try and maybe cut it in half.
Okay.
My rule of thumb is no bigger than the palm of your hand
Okay.
and no smaller than your thumbnail. And that's pretty small.
Yeah, I was gonna say those are some good guidelines.
Somewhere in about that range is great.
Okay.
And then that enables you to put more variety in that section.
Because variety is our friend then, right?
It is.
More is more.
More is better.
Okay, so like that maybe
Perfect.
is better.
Perfect.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. So now take the score. Have you ever used Steam-A-Seam?
I
before?
have, but it's been a long time actually.
Okay.
I have not used it for a long time. So you've scored it, it'll just peel off. And you're right, it does have kind of
It has a temporary adhesive.
that holds it in place for you. That's great. Okay.
So we'll just keep going. I want you to just do that section right there.
Okay. All right.
If you dare.
I dare. I'm gonna try it.
Okay.
It's so fun. And then
Score it. Your fingernails are so pretty.
Oh, thank you. I had to redo them. It's, gardening season,
Oh,
so they weren't looking so nice the other
Kinda
day.
nice to have fingernails to hide the dirt.
It's
that
true.
might-
It's true. Oh, okay. And so do you just try to keep mixing up the fabric as you go?
do,
Okay.
yeah.
So that's I'm doing it right then. Just
Yep,
keep
you're
pulling
doing
different prints.
It's really hard, huh?
Well, it's not hard, but funny, I do feel like I'm going to mess it up somehow.
You can't.
You can't. Okay. That's
This
good
is
to know.
foolproof.
That is good to know.
And you're just having fun.
Yeah. Well, and
Playing with
I guess
fabric.
the thing to remember too is if I put it on there and for some reason I don't like it, I just pull it off
That's
and
right.
switch it,
That's
right?
right.
Like it's really not
That's right.
like a permanent thing. And as far as like overlap and things, what
Good
are you
question.
looking for?
I will generally overlap, maybe up to a 1/2 inch.
Okay.
I don't want to cover everything
Right,
that I've
because
just
then
done, but I want to cover, my goal is to cover everything in the gray guide.
Okay. And you want to layer those up and
Yep.
have all that variety.
Yep.
Okay. Cool. I need like a little sliver there, huh?
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Something like that.
So this is a little bit like doing a puzzle, except that you can cheat because you can cut the pieces.
That's true. You can make it work for what you need, huh? Okay. So we are just going to keep working to fill out this. I am such a rule follower. I'm like, it has to fit perfectly, but I'm hearing your voice in my head that it's just a guideline,
It's
right?
a guideline, yep.
Okay.
And the goal with this is really just I think the goal is to get into flow.
Okay.
Right? So it's just, you're just having fun with fabric. It's stimulating. It's a little challenging, but stimulating, but not too difficult.
Right.
And so this is the time where I turn on a good book or a podcast, and I just sit and enjoy playing with the color.
Okay.
It's therapy.
It really
You're
is.
gonna love it.
And so when you're layering this, do you like, so I'm basically layering from this side up. Do you come back and tuck some things under? Like, do you have a rule of thumb with that?
Great question. So, for example, the green leaf that's coming here, that's what I'll do. I'll take these handy dandy tweezers.
You'll lift
and
them.
just tuck the green underneath.
Underneath the flower.
But
okay.
as far as this piece right here, it doesn't matter.
Not really. Okay, awesome. I just wasn't sure here. I'll go back to this one maybe.
Yeah, good.
Okay. I keep losing my pen. There it is.
You're making a beautiful yellow blossom.
Well, thank you.
Well done. Yeah, that's perfect.
Something like that.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Maybe I need to flip that around. I don't know.
Yeah, it's kind of fun to be
Just
able to just play, right?
Yeah. See how it looks.
Now you just have a few more pieces there, and
Okay.
then we're ready to kind of move on.
All right. Well, I will finish
What
this.
do you think?
I think it's super fun. It's very forgiving and just freeing. It
Yeah.
really is kind of just like just playing.
Yeah, it
which is so awesome. All right, so we will finish up this little yellow blossom and then I'll let you show me what's next.
Okay. Perfect. Look at that.
Oh, so fun.
Great job.
Thank you so much. Oh, this is so great.
Misty, you killed it.
Thank you. This is really fun.
Good.
And I think you're right. You just have to kind of settle in and enjoy the process. It's really just fun and forgiving.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just let go and have fun. Okay,
Yeah.
I have a little tip for you.
Awesome.
So, do you see this section of the flower that has, like, what is it called? You're a gardener.
Oh.
A stamen?
The stamen, that'd be the center,
Okay,
yes.
Yeah. So, I don't want to have to cut and make all these little pieces around there. So,
Okay.
I'm going to teach you how to do what I call a Sass tracing.
Okay.
So, I'm going to, let's see, peel back the paper.
The paper part. Okay.
So the steam is on the back of the fabric still. And I'm going to lay it on here. And I can kind of see through there, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So I now can,
Help hold it down.
oh, thanks.
You bet.
So we are doing a Sass tracing. And it's going to be something like that, right?
Okay.
That looks really similar.
Yes, it does.
Maybe. Okay. Now, I have a perfect tracing.
Oh.
And I can just trace this out and cut it. And then that's what I'll use for that section.
To fill in that spot.
Yep. So anytime you're feeling a little intimidated by a section of the quilt that might be a little scary, you know, maybe a little piece like that or anything, you can use this little simple technique and take away all doubt about getting that done.
That's wonderful.
So now we've got the center of the quilt right there, but there's also those little dots. What are they?
I'm not sure what they would officially be
called,
called,
but those, anyway,
yes.
Okay. They're little dots. So let's take something that might be kind of a fun, let's take some dots.
Okay.
Right? And just cut those out. And they don't have to be, remember, it doesn't have to be the perfect size. It doesn't have to match exactly.
It's a guideline.
It's a suggestion.
That's right.
Yeah. So look at that.
Oh,
now I've got the
cute.
little flower centers. Easy peasy, right?
Well, and it's so fun, like with this particular fabric, you're getting a lot of variety and it's all from the same print, which is
That's another reason I love K-Facet.
Yes.
Just great fabric. Interesting designs.
Definitely.
Okay, so I think those are great.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to just continue working on this design and you can just sit back, relax, and watch.
Okay, I can't wait.
So now we have finished this middle section.
It looks so good.
It does, right?
Yes. I'm just so, I'm so pleasantly surprised at how relaxing and fun this was.
Good.
Yeah.
I'm glad you enjoyed it. So, and super easy, right?
So easy. Yes.
Okay. So the next step is we're just going to steam it.
Okay.
Once we're happy with everything, we can steam it. If at this point there's something that I don't like, I can still peel it up and move it.
And adjust.
Yep.
Okay.
But I really like it, so I think now it's time to steam. Now steam is essential in this process. We've got a really hot steamy iron, and this will help to dissipate the temporary layer of adhesive and activate the permanent layer of adhesive. And I recommend steaming it on both sides of the panel so that...
Just so it's really good and secure.
Yep. And the more you steam this, the easier your quilting is going to be.
Oh, okay.
So I have steamed this section, the quilt top, really, really well. And now we're going to talk about quilting.
Okay.
So I have some tips for success with quilting through collage.
All right.
Okay. So, and number one is the needle. I think it's really important. Schmetz makes this lovely nonstick needle.
I didn't even know this was a thing.
Isn't that crazy?
And I'm really surprised because I do a lot of applique, fusible applique, and so it would be great for that as well.
Yeah,
That's amazing.
These needles are awesome.
Such a good tip.
And then the other thing is I really highly recommend 40 weight polyester thread because we're stitching through adhesive and sometimes a couple layers of fabric. We need our thread to be really strong. I don't want thread breakage.
No.
So polyester is stronger than cotton.
Perfect.
The other thing is so this is when this is finished, this will be treated like a quilt top. I will, make my quilt sandwich and quilt it as I would any other quilt.
Okay.
I normally will match my thread color because I don't consider myself an expert quilter.
Okay.
And the highlight of the quilt is really the collage, not my quilting. So I will match my thread to the back.
Yeah, because you just want it to blend in with this beautiful artwork that you've created. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Now the other thing is I quilt things densely. I like dense quilting, but it also serves a purpose with collage because we want to make sure that all of these raw edges are tacked down, okay?
Yep.
So those are the tips. Dense quilting, polyester thread, a great nonstick needle. Now let me tell you a little bit about the way I quilt is what I call doodle stitching.
All right.
So I will, in fact, if we look at this quilt here.
Absolutely, yes.
Doodle stitching, this is a really great example where I'll kind of pretend I'm working on a leaf and I'll mimic the veins of a leaf or the shape of a flower petal.
Okay.
So that's what I mean by doodle stitching.
Well, and you can see here, you've tacked down every edge, so everything's just nice and secure.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
And not necessarily, I haven't necessarily gone around every
single piece, but you're just making sure it's caught.
That's right.
Yes.
Yeah. So then you're ready. That's how you quilt. That's how you quilt a collage quilt.
And then you just trim it and bind it just as any other quilt.
Yeah.
That is amazing. I cannot believe how truly simple and approachable this is with this panel as the starting place.
Oh, good.
Like, this is just like a game changer for me.
I love to hear that.
Well,
I think you're going to love it.
I am hooked. I want to make another one. I have so many ideas brewing in my head. So thank you so much for coming and sharing this.
It's been my pleasure. Thank you so much for having me.
It has been a real treat. So can you let everyone know where they can follow you if they want to learn more?
Sure.
Okay, great.
So collagequilter.com, and that's kind of my website. You can follow me on social media too. So Collage Quilter is the name of my business.
Wonderful. Thank you, Emily, so much. And hopefully I'll see you again soon.
Yeah, thanks, Misty.
Yep. See ya.
Bye-bye.
Hey everyone, thank you so much for watching at home. We're so excited to be almost 1 million quilters strong here at Missouri Star. And so if you haven't already joined our family, be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you can be notified of all of our future tutorials. And we'll see you soon.